Welcome to the Last Co-op Podcast, your source for all things nerd and pop culture related, all in one place. This is episode number 28, and the first thing is we had a state of play for Sony, which I don't know. I feel like all of these things are very depressing and
I was going to say, was it really a state of play?
I mean, it's so. I think the motto in 2020, well, I mean, definitely 2025, part of 2024 as well, is find an old game that people liked and make a remaster, and that's just seems to be or just milk the same series over and over and over again. Like, I understand you run out of ideas. Like, there's only so much that can be considered new. But I don't know. Like, especially the very last one, the Horizon game, like that did not need a remaster. There was no
game.
reason.
How old is that game? 3-4 years old?
Yeah, well, I think the original came on PS4, and then the second one came on PS5. But point is, didn't need a remaster. Like, I'm sure it's going to look better, but like it already looked really good. So I mean,
they already remastered it. Did they just
remaster it? Well, I think they gave a PS5 version of the PS4 game, which, in my opinion, is good enough. But now there's a remaster. So, and then they it took The Last of Us Part 1, put that on the game catalog thing, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, this is cool for people that like don't have it or haven't ever played it, but
it's trash.
I really wasn't. There was nothing that I saw on there. Like back when we were younger, I feel like they used to use these things, and like we'd see reveals and be like, "Oh, holy shit! Did you see that game?" That hasn't happened in years.
Because they were new games.
Well, I mean, that hasn't happened in years for me. Like I don't. There's nothing that I see to where I'm like, except for that. It's not Ghost of Tsushima 2. It's Ghost of Yotai or whatever it is.
Look, when you're remastering Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I mean, they're things that I don't know. I just stupid.
Although I'm probably going to buy them because on the latest Nerdy Reads, they had the price for it on there.
How stupid! I can't wait to buy that.
$24.99 for both is not bad, so I'll buy it.
We'll see. Now that's the thing. If we do remasters and they are, like discounted, I'm okay with that. But like for you to make a remaster and then charge me $60, $70, that's a problem. Like Dead Space remaster, when that came out and it was full price, it's like, granted that game was a 360 game, so like it's been a minute, but when that came out and it was full price, I'm like, I don't want to play this game bad enough to pay $70 for it. So
right. We'll just play the OG on Game Pass.
Yeah, so I mean, like if remasters come out and they're $40, okay, like that seems acceptable. But like, to tell these people, hey, we know you already bought the game once, and now if you want to get the remaster, of the game, you all right over there, Jake?
I think Jake fell.
I followed it. I can't get up.
We got a remaster, Jake.
Your computer almost died. I was like, "You're not plugged in, dumb butt."
There we go. Jake's remastered. He's back.
But if they, for you to already buy the game once and then for them to remaster it and then say, hey, for $10 now you can have the new version, it's like, just give it to people for free that already own it and be so much better.
They're doing this as well with that Predator Hunting Ground game that came out, I think, in 2020. PS5 version's about to drop, but it's not free. It's not $10. I don't even think it's $20. I think it starts at $30 and it goes all the way up to $70
for different versions.
Whatever the DLC they're including. Get out of here! That game was hot trash, dude.
Yeah. What was the game? Is that the game where what was like the game that was like that, where it's like 5v1, where like there was like one person that hunted like 4 or 5 other people?
Dead by Daylight.
No, it was an older game. Was it called Prey? It was the one where
Probably
they.
sounds familiar.
It was the one where I sent you that that TikTok where it says this hasn't aged well, where it had Doctor Disrespect as the DLC character, and he was hunting the 4 other people.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's Predator Hunting
Is
Grounds.
that Predator Hunting Grounds?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Where the DLC was him, and it said this hasn't aged well. He was hunting other people. Yeah, that game sucked. I remember like that game was like actually pretty hyped up.
Dude, the beta was awesome, and then the game just I don't know.
I don't remember playing the beta. I played the game, and I was just like, this is not for me. So Sony is making all kinds of new consoles, apparently, covers, controllers. You got the regular Pro, the 30th anniversary Pro, the 30th anniversary digital, the Portal, the new controllers. Then they, I think on the 3rd, I believe, is when pre-orders open. They have that Chroma collection. I think that's it that they came out with. That white Chroma one looks pretty damn cool. I might like. It sounds stupid saying I have a white PlayStation and I'm gonna buy a white cover for my PlayStation, but it's different. You know, like I've made dumber purchases. You know,
It's
so
off white.
yeah, it's metallic-y white. It's a little it's a little different. The controllers
Those
really
retail
what
at?
$54.99 for the
That's not
covers.
bad.
So, and the crazy part is you know how when they came out with the Slim, they said basically that's the new PlayStation going forward. So like
Mhm.
all the new console covers and like all that stuff, like they're not making them for the old PlayStation. So like if you don't buy a Slim, you can't get it. So I mean, well, I say I want to buy that one. I may not. I don't know. Like I've said, I got like they came out with all kinds of cool controllers. I still got this, you know. So
Hey.
it's just you know, like I thought about turning. I thought about getting the red cover for my PlayStation before, and I've never, you know, it never happened. So I don't know. I'm still rocking the basic controller. I bought one of the PlayStation, the 30th anniversary controllers off GameStop. But apparently those sell for like $150, so I probably will just sell that. And I bought a PlayStation 5 Pro, and it's currently on eBay for the low price of whatever you offer for it.
Okay.
So, hey, listen, those bundles that people are selling, they're selling for like $5,000. Oh, did you see where they
That's crazy.
contacted eBay about that? Like eBay made a statement where people were like bitching and complaining, like, how can you sell this for $5,000? Blah, 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 blah. And eBay basically responded and said, as long as it's within the 30-day pre-sale policy, it's totally fine. And the price gouging rule does not apply to video games on eBay. So they can just do whatever the hell they want. So all the people that got the $1,000 bundle are selling them for anywhere from $3 to $5. And
Hold up.
or no.
What are people buying on eBay and they're price gouging besides video game stuff? Like, what is there to price gouge?
I honestly didn't know that there was a price gouging rule, to be totally honest.
I wasn't aware of that either.
It
And
was
if
on
I had to
eBay.
pick one, it would be video games or new systems.
Oh yeah,
like that.
well it would be that,
What
or it would
else?
be digital items. Like that would be because, like, speaking of digital items, your all's kids play Roblox.
Yeah.
Okay, Ava has some shit on some of the games that she's played through. I did not realize how much money some of those things are worth that people,
Yeah.
you know, like she was looking there and she's like, yeah, look at this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, she's like, you know, you can sell these. And I'm like, can you really? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, let's look them up on eBay. She's got some like random, like knife thing or whatever. It was like $300 something on eBay, and I'm like, so yeah, it's like we're gonna get rid of this. It's like I like that one. I'm like, yeah, I like money. No, it's just like I was like, I technically paid for this, so
Yeah.
it's technically mine. But yeah, it was
Give her 50 of it and be like, all
yeah,
right.
it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I would think digital items maybe that might be something that could be price gouged, I guess. Yeah, other than video games, I don't know what people would go crazy for. So.
I heard about a Roblox account that was like hacked, or it was like hacked or scammed or whatever, and like it was worth like upwards of $10,000 or something because the dude played so much, but then it got like hacked, and then like
it's the same thing with Fortnite accounts. Like people were selling their Fortnite accounts that they had since like day one with like the the Red Knight and all that stuff on there, and I'm just like, it's just nuts. Like it's nuts to me to buy something like that is going to disappear at some point. Like it's at some point you will never own it again. Like to think that
what California passed. I wonder if that's going to go where basically if something's listed digitally, they can't list it as you're purchasing it because you don't own it.
You have to lease it or something.
Yep, you're basically agreeing to temporarily rent the license. So,
does that just work for everything?
Any digital sale, unless you can access it offline. Yes, movies, all that stuff, video games, unless it has the option to download and use offline. They cannot say that you're purchasing something digital.
That's why they need to go back to just system-based and nothing else.
Does that work for PlayStation games? Like, I've never. Honestly, I don't think I've ever not been connected to the internet. So, like, if we download a digital game and then we're not connected to the internet, it just doesn't work, right?
I think there are certain games that will, but yeah, 90% of them do not.
I would say I'm just always connected to the internet, so I don't really know if it works or not.
If you download it, you'd have to use the internet.
But I mean, in reality, what difference does it make? I mean, what is say they pass the law? I mean, it's still fucking gone when it's gone. Like, I mean, we're not solving a problem by putting a piece of legislation in place. Like, it just, it's gone. Like all that does is prevent some sneaky lawyer of making a lawsuit down the road. That's what that prevents. That's not helping the consumer. So,
well, CYA, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean that it doesn't. You're not helping me by being like, hey Tyler, just so you know, you don't really own this. You're just paying for the license. You get to have it for a little bit, and then we're gonna rip it away from you again. Like you're not helping me. That's just helping someone down the road be like, well, we told him. He knew what he was getting himself into. It's just like that's all that's for. So this wonderful game got released yesterday. Actually, we were supposed to record yesterday, and the plan was when we didn't record yesterday, I was going to play it, and I didn't. So I haven't got to play it yet. But from all the reviews that I read online, it's actually like a worthy addition to the series, and it's not just like a spin-off dumb game. I didn't ever think it was going to be like that, but I guess some people thought that it wasn't going to be worth it, and it was going to be just a little spin-off that wasn't as good as the rest. So now that we are going to be building an ark because Noah's coming from the storm here over the weekend, I will be playing Zelda until I wash away, and hopefully I can beat it by then. So next episode we will, or no, are we doing 2 weeks, right? Is that when we can't wait 2 weeks? We gotta. That's 2 weeks away. We might have to convince him. I don't know. We were gonna have BJ from the Nerdy Reads come on, and we were gonna review the game. I guess we can do it in 2 weeks. That's long enough. This is probably gonna take a while to beat. So
yeah, I think he's going out of town or something next week.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, probably in 2 weeks we'll have like a in-depth full review on the game.
I will just be listening to this in-depth review. I will not be playing this game. Full disclosure.
Hey, I don't know where it's at. Well, I know where it's at, but I'm not gonna go get it. Your keychain and your Switch keychain, all that stuff. I gotta send that stuff out today. I'll do that later on today.
It's a very thoughtful gift.
You 100% condemned Switch keychain, and I might even write you a handwritten letter in there.
I'll read it on here.
That you've learned nothing. So along with that, Assassin's Creed got postponed, and with that, most people are saying that it got postponed because they're trying to line it up with being ready for the PS5 Pro. But it's got released or got postponed to Valentine's Day, which is a weird day to. I mean, when I think of, hey, babe, buy me a game, I don't think of Assassin's Creed buying a game on Valentine's Day. Like, that's not what I envision someone doing. So I don't know. It may be. Normally, when a game is this close to being released and it gets postponed, it ends up being pretty shitty. So not holding my breath, and I feel like that Ghost of, I'm going to call it Ghost of Tsushima 2 because I don't know how to say the other name, so that's what it's called. That's going to be 10 times better than Assassin's Creed is, as long as it follows in the footsteps that the first game did.
You look great.
Yeah, well, never mind. That's a dumb question. I was going to say, did you finish it? But you don't finish anything.
I am a quizzer. I come from a long line of quizzers. It's amazing I'm here at all.
So that would be a silly question for me to ask. It's a great game if you didn't play through it all the way. It's
I think I only played like 25 minutes of it.
It's one of the before I platinumed Red Dead, that was probably the last single player game I played all the way through, I think. I didn't have any desire to platinum it, but it was worth it if you haven't played it before. So
I think I'm gonna have to play it. I need something to play.
Yeah, there's thank God Zelda came out, because I mean I just sit here every day and I'm just like, what am I gonna do? Like there's nothing. I have like 11 games installed on my PlayStation, and I'm just like, I don't want to play any of them. I was like, they could all be gone, and it'd be the exact same to me. Like I don't care. I still have the GTAs and downloaded. I keep saying I'm going to play through them, and like I know like once I start them, it will be fun. But I'm just like, man, do I really want to piss myself off playing GTA 3 again? It's like, but I really want to play. I really want to play Vice City. That's the one I really want to play, because I've already beat 3 like a couple times. So like I don't need to play it again. So
hey, listen.
All right, so we have another review, and we're going to. I think we're probably gonna have to do it like half and half, because it will interfere with other things that are coming up. But the Vince McMahon documentary came out on Netflix, and I'm having a hard time figuring out who's actually in charge of production, because it like started off with like it seeming like Vince McMahon wanted to tell everybody a story of, hey, you all don't really know the real me, and this is a character, and blah, 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 blah. And then it pans to all of these interviews were before all the sexual abuse allegations. And I'm like, okay, so is this Vince McMahon's story, or is this someone else's story about Vince McMahon? So I'm like, I think I watched the first three or 4 episodes. I don't remember.
I wrapped it up last night.
You did? Worth it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it. I'm not gonna give too much away, but this thing's like 70% like the Rise of WWE documentary and maybe 30% about Vince McMahon. It's not really about Vince McMahon at all.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Like, I mean, the first couple, like, were basically talking about how he got, in the business, basically. And I mean, it sounds silly to say that, like, we all know the story because, I mean, like, 90% of the time when you're watching a documentary on something, like, you know what you're watching. I mean, like, there's times where you have no idea, you just go into it blind. But I mean, like, most of the time, if you're watching a documentary about something that caught your eye, you know why it caught your eye. You're like, oh, I remember that. Like, that seems interesting. So seeing his dad be the person, and then he's a shitty commentator, and then, ends up taking over and basically destroying all the territories and doing all of his own thing. And my favorite part, though, was, when they asked him, they said, well, don't you feel like you getting rid of WCW is kind of, just like whenever you got rid of all the territories and, all that? And he's like, no, it's a little different. He's like, no, wasn't the same thing. He's, and then it's kind of crazy, though, to think that WCW was live, ruined every taping of WWF, and somehow managed to just run themselves into the ground and just basically make it like Vince didn't have to run WCW out of business. They did it to themselves.
Have you got to that episode yet where they talk about that?
I mean, there's nothing they're going to say that I don't know about.
There was one little part I did. I'm not going to spoil it, but I wasn't aware of. I guess when I can't speak. I don't want to spoil it.
I
think they had help running themselves into the ground when TNT got bought out.
Oh, well, I mean, they ran themselves into the ground because they were rolling in fucking money, and then they decided to give people like, Kevin Nash and Razor Ramon and, all these people like these ginormous contracts, and basically were like, hey, you can like do whatever you want. Like, you want to control the story, do this, do that. Well, that, like when the NWO went from like 4 people to 17, like they just like it was like it went from here's a WCW and here's this faction of the NWO, which was like, the cool thing. And then it was like, okay, now this person joined and this person joined and this. So then it was like, it was the NWO and then the rest of the wrestlers. And like, that's all it was, like there wasn't, there was no diversity in things. But yeah, I mean, they just they were on a roll, when they were stealing everybody and getting everybody to come over from WWF. And it was I mean, I watched it as a kid. I mean, I
always watched that first hour.
I grew up on WCW. I thought it was fantastic. I have stories that can't be said on the podcast, but just
the referee's outfit, please. Oh Lordy! Oh Lordy!
Looks like a zebra with speed bumps.
Yeah, I mean, I watched WCW growing up. I didn't watch WWF until they bought them out. That was like,
oh wow,
whenever I started. So, well, I mean, you got to think about it. You're watching WCW and they're like, hey, don't touch the remote if you want to know Shawn Michaels super kick so-and-so for the win. I'm like, neat, I don't have to watch it. Like, I mean, like, I already know it was ruined, like, I don't have to watch it. It's already done it over with. So yeah, I did learn, well, not that I didn't just learn this now, but Hulk Hogan's an idiot. I don't know if he's got CTE or he's
look up the YouTube video of him just lying for like an hour straight. It's so funny.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's every interview that he's been in, and I feel like now people are understanding that that's what he's doing. Like, I feel like 10, 15 years ago, people would hear it and they're like, oh, that's a crazy story, but now it's just like, yeah, he's full of shit. Like,
he's on record saying he wrestled 368 days a year.
I
Come on.
mean, I mean,
Who might argue that?
he just, I don't know. He just lies all the time. So like, it's just this is how it is. We saw the Impulsive podcast, didn't you?
No, not with him.
You didn't see the one with him?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, he's got to get it. Logan didn't know what to do when he was on there because he said, you know, he said, what did he say? He said something like, a lot of people think the business is a work or something like that, and he's like, it's not, it's a shoot. And then Logan just kind of sat there and was waiting for him to keep talking. And he goes, you know what that means, right? And he's like, I'm lost. He goes, you don't know what a work and a shoot is? He goes, I know what a work is. He's like, but I don't know what you mean by the business is a shoot. He goes, well, it's a shoot, brother. He's like, you got to be kidding me. And then he goes, oh yeah, no, I'm just messing with you. You know, yeah, I know what that means. And then the co-host Mike Majak or whatever, he goes, no, he really doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about. he was egging it on. But yeah, he was just he's lost it. He's far gone. So all the years of steroids and God knows whatever else.
I think it's ironic that once the allegations broke, Vince refused to come back and finish that documentary. But in the documentary itself, he says, my brain is like two computers always fighting each other, but I have this third computer that I'm constantly battling with that just wants to something about, I just want to have sex. I want to feel good. So you're saying shit like this, but then you won't come back when the allegations break.
The first episode when he said, you know, people don't really know me, and he's like, you don't want to know the real me. You know, like I'm like
he touches on his affairs.
Yeah, when that's how it started, I was like, but I mean, the thing is like. And it sounds terrible. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't sound terrible saying this, but like you look at people like, you know, you look at like the stuff going on with Diddy and, you know, all of the things that have happened with celebrities. And then you like, if you really go back and you watch like old Attitude Era stuff and even a little bit before them, and you see like, and like the wrestlers, I'll tell you, like everything is Vince, like all the ideas, you know, all that kind of stuff. Have you seen some of those things that some of the backstage interactions that they've had? Like he had people out there kissing his ass, you know, like he had Trish Stratus walking around barking like a dog in the middle of the ring, and the one where they were the one before football when he was the backstage one with Trish Stratus and Shelton Benjamin. Do you remember that one?
I don't think I remember that one.
Oh yeah, that one when he's back there and Trish Stratus has just in a towel and she's got the mask on because she broke her nose or whatever, and he goes. And he's back there and he's like, oh, we can't have this on. This can't be on TV. He's like, Shelton, he's like, I don't know if anybody's told you this, but you're an African-American. And he said, and we all know that African-Americans love Canadian white women with broken noses. And
what the fuck?
And then you hear the football theme, you hear, duh, 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 duh.
Oh boy.
Like, yeah, I'm sure it's got to be on YouTube, but I'm just like, how did this type of shit get on TV? But my point is like if you look back and you see those kind of things, you see him out there like literally having people kiss his bare ass, the bra and panties matches that they used to have, to like, you know, all of these things. Then you look today and you're like, oh, there's allegations of sexual abuse. You're like,
yeah,
connecting the dots.
just like makes sense, you know. Like I can see how we got here, you know. So like it's not surprising, but like at the time, you're not thinking like, wow, that guy is a predator or that guy is, you know, whatever. So
Sable sued him for sexual harassment. And then in that documentary, they ran a segment where Sable comes back and she's like wearing basically nothing, laying on Vince's desk. Stephanie McMahon walks in and was like, what is she doing here? And he's like, oh, I hired her again. And she says, she literally just sued us for sexual harassment. Like they bring it up on air. They really just do not care.
Well, that and but then at the same time, you remember with the infamous handprints on the. I mean, like that's just it's when you connect the dots, like Jake said, it's not surprising, and at least to me, and in the least bit. So, but I mean, they were untouchable back then. I mean, they could do whatever, you know. I think the only one that understood how out of control that they were and how bad things could have gotten was that it was Tony Atlas. You know, whenever he was talking. Yeah, well, you know, like he was talking and he's just like, you know, basically seems like the only one that is like, he's like, why didn't you go to Vince? He's like, what, and get fired? It's like, why would you do that? You know, like it's like he knew the game, like he knew what was happening. He's like, everything was Vince. He's like, why am I? He's like, what did he say? Pat Patterson. He's like, hey, grab my pecker. And he's like, why didn't you go tell Vince? He's like, what? Why would I do that? He's just going to fire me. And, you know, it's like that was the world they lived in. Like you could just do whatever you wanted. It was its own little bubble, and they were untouchable. And that's the world they lived. And I guess when you live like that for so long, and then you get into today's day and age where we have many problems in the world, you can't do things like that. I mean, you have people where, like, if you don't call them adjectives, then they can sue you and all this other kind of stuff. That's very different from back then. So
easy.
They use litter boxes.
Yeah,
I mean,
litter boxes.
They use litter boxes, and I mean that's all I can say on that.
Yeah, we won't deep dive into the politics on the episode. But yeah,
I watched one episode and I fell asleep twice during it.
You seem to have a problem watching things and falling asleep.
Maybe I shouldn't watch things right before bed. Yes. But it's like I didn't watch wrestling a whole lot growing up. I think my grandma watched more than I did growing up. She loved it, actually. She had like the magazines come into her house. I think she bought the toys for herself just to collect.
She probably got a collection over there.
Well, she passed away. But I don't know where all that stuff went, honestly. But yeah, she loved wrestling. So I just could never get. I mean, I played like on the 64. Those games are fun. But like, aside from that, I didn't really get into it growing up.
I wasn't like a die-hard wrestling fan. It was like basically and like my grandparents still do the same thing to this day, and it just drives me fucking insane to where they will record something that's live and then watch it like days later. And you know, it's like we used to go over there on Thanksgiving, and you know, there's football games on, you know, during Thanksgiving. That's just what happens. Well, then, like, you know, I walk in, TV's turned off. I'm like, what are we doing in here? And I was like, there's a game on there. Oh, I got it recording. That's cool. I don't give a shit. Turn it on. Like, what no, don't tell me what happens if you look on your phone and you see. What do you mean? Like, how can you know something is live? You get the newspaper, you're going to open it up tomorrow and you're going to see front page on the sports. It's ruined. Like, they're going to tell you who won, and then you're going to tell me you're going to watch it in bits and pieces later on. It's like, no, but they used to do that with wrestling too. So like wrestling he would record it, and sometimes when we'd go spend the night over there and stuff when we were younger, then we'd sit out there and watch it. And you know, back then it was like, oh, we get to skip the commercials. Like that was like a cool thing. Like now it's just like, if you're watching commercials, what's wrong with you? Like, you know, if you're just sitting there, if you have the option and you're just like, I DVR'd this, but I want to see the ads. You know, it's just like you got some issues.
You're a sociopath.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me if I'd seen some commercial like last year, and I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? No, I have not.
That's like the only that's like the only downside is like seeing new things, like, you know, new shows, new movies, new, you know, whatever, like that. You don't have that if you don't watch TV and you don't watch YouTube, and you know, you're not on social media. Like, you have no idea when anything comes out. And like, so I don't have well, we technically have cable, it's YouTube TV, but like, I rarely ever use it. But I mean, like, there'll be things that come out, like new seasons of TV shows that like, I don't even know are in like on TV, and then it'll be like 4 episodes in, and somebody's like, "Hey, did you watch such and such?" I'm like, "Oh, that's back." It's like I had no idea. So
this is what I do when a commercial comes on. Get my phone out. Oh, show's back on. Put the phone down.
Yeah, I used to have a thing where it like notified me. It was some app. I don't remember. It was an app where like it was like for like movies and TV shows and books and all kinds of stuff where you would like put in your interests and stuff, and then if something.
Oh yeah, you had me download that at one point.
Yeah, but I can't remember what it was called.
Me either.
And it's I either deleted it from my phone or it went away because I didn't use it and it did that offload thing or whatever. But yeah, like you just put in your shows and your interests and all that stuff, and then like when a new season or it came back for the next season or a new episode came out or whatever, it would notify you so you knew it came back on. But yeah, I can't remember what that's called. You got it on your phone still?
I'm trying to find it. No, I don't have it.
I got it offloaded.
Yeah, so it was kind of neat to, and then like people could see your stuff and then they could like make a recommendation or like a comment or like or whatever. So it was kind of like it was almost like a social media for I guess pop culture, and it's kind of neat, but I don't remember what it was called. So we haven't done Would You Rather in a couple episodes, so we decided to bring it back for this episode, and this one is: would you rather eat fast food that's burnt or have home cooked food that's undercooked?
Oh, this one's easy. I think you can die from undercooked food. I don't think you can from burnt food. You see all that burnt rallies.
It depends on what it is. I guess a better one. I guess the undercooked and burnt. That death or bad tasting probably is the best. We should have done burnt or just like overly greasy food, and that would have been a better one. I mean, half the time you get fast food, there's a problem with it anyway. So I mean, is it really that different? So we got Chick-fil-A 2 days ago, or no, yesterday or whatever, and I had a burnt ass chicken sandwich and some floppy ass soggy fries.
Dang, Jesus is letting you down, dude.
So they whenever Timmy got it and they put it in the bag, they they're notorious for like they just like shove the food in the bag, and like it doesn't matter if there's no more room, they'll just like they'll take a thing of fries and like lay it sideways on top, and they're like here, and like you got to like hold it and whatever. And so they gave it to her and the fries fell off, and then she goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna need some more of those." And so they ended up giving her more. And so after that happened, there was a lady behind her in the drive-thru, and she's honking her horn, and she goes, "What are you doing? You already got the food." And so it's like, yeah. So then we get it home.
People.
Yeah. Then we got it home, and it's all greasy. There's the worst Chick-fil-A French fries I think I've ever had. Normally they're pretty good, but yeah, they were not up to par. So.
I'll put some shit at y'all. What do you think? You prefer tacos or burgers?
Tacos, 100%.
Oh, tacos. I mean, I love a good burger. Don't get me. I'm a burger connoisseur, but tacos, man, Taco Tuesday, shit.
If I had, do you think they make chefs that just make one type of food? Like they just specialize in one thing instead of like, if I got a chef, like I don't want all that caviar, fucking not. Tacos, please. Mexican food. Like, that's all I need. Do you specialize in Mexican food? That's the kind of chef.
Don't do the accent again. You did an accent last time.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if you went to a Mexican restaurant, that'd be a Mexican chef. That would specialize, right?
Well, yeah, I just meant like, I feel like when you like if you're wealthy enough to have a chef, like it's always some like fancy bullshit, like I don't want that, it's just You know, like if I got a chef and he makes like some, Mexican food or whatever and brings it out and I don't know what it is, like we have a problem. Like it should look like it's going to fuck my stomach up later on. Like that's what it, it's what it should be. Be like, did you use the Taco Bell seasoning that I had in there? It's just like, like that's how it should be. So
comes with a little cup of Pepto with it.
Yeah. I had a dream. I had an idea years and years ago, like, and it probably wouldn't ever be successful. But me and my friend were going to open a food truck, but it was going to be like basic stuff, like like stuff that you can make at home, obviously.
Grilled
And
cheese.
well, like like burgers,
Copyright.
tacos, just
Copyright. Just get rid of that.
just
Cheese-
just like
cheese face off.
regular stuff. It never
I'd buy
happened.
a
obviously.
Tostino's party pizza from a food truck, just so I
Well-
don't have to cook it.
Well, the crazy part is like, I wanted to do that, and then it was like it just never happened, obviously. And then they went on those people that went on Shark Tank, that Tom and Chi or whatever, where they literally just sell grilled cheese and tomato soup, and they're like
I've had
millionaires. And like I'm sure it's great.
fire.
I'm
Oh,
sure
it's
it's
fire.
fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like grilled cheese and tomato soup, and they're millionaires. I was just like, like I could have done it. So.
Mhm. I think everybody that's ever eaten there said the same thing while they're eating. Like, you're eating $1 million bite that's just gone.
I've seen like tomato water or soup, as some people call it. That's not.
The best
That's-
soup. Well, potato soup's probably the best.
Yeah,
And then tomato.
no. My wife loves tomato water as well, and I'm just
Tomato
like,
water.
I'm just like, that's not soup. Like that's just not. Yeah,
Tomato
potato.
soup fire.
Mhm. Oh, with a BLT, shit.
Warms
The
the
best.
soul, dude.
Oh
Warms
my
the soul.
god, dude.
No, potato soup, 100%.
Cheese and that bitch.
Oh hell yeah! See,
Dunzo.
Last
Soup
time
season.
last time I took a recommendation from you was to get that Skyline cinnamon chili, and
Skyline was great. R.I.P.
no, I felt like I was doing the cinnamon challenge. Like it was just a big spoonful of cinnamon, and then I had to swallow. Like there was just like it was absolutely terrible. I don't know. It's been years since I ate there, but that place sucks. There's a reason why it.
Yeah,
no
you broke my
longer-
heart that day. You sent me that article. It was closing over here.
Yeah,
No.
that place is closing for a very good reason, and it wasn't because rent was too high. So, all right. So next month, we got a week left of this month. It's spooky season, and Travis has some plans for the upcoming month of movies that Jake and I are supposed to watch and review, and I'm sure we'll do other horror-related themes throughout the month.
I'm doing a giveaway too. I don't exactly know what it is, but we'll iron out the details.
All right. So what for the spooky season? What do you have
So I would like
planned
we
that
talk-
you know of so far?
We talk about playing a video game together a lot on here. Can I
Mhm.
get you guys to play Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I like Texas
give it a
Chainsaw
try.
Massacre.
I don't.
Is
They
it
took it off Game
still-
Pass,
Oh,
so it's $19.99 permanently. They just dropped the price on it.
when I played it on PC, did I play it on Game Pass or did I own
Yes. No, it
Oh.
was on Game Pass.
it? I'm trying to
But
think.
if we can do
See,
that,
that's
that
a-
would be great.
Is it crossplay?
I don't think so.
Do I need to
So
play
here's-
on the PlayStation? Is it on PlayStation? Or
Actually, no, it is crossplay. It is crossplay. 100%.
Because I know they took away PC and Xbox at one point, right?
No, I think it's.
But didn't that happen to us? Like where we were playing it, and then I couldn't play on PC
I think
anymore.
they
and I had
shut. They temporarily turned off PC players because they were cheating until they could figure out a patch to prevent it.
PC players were cheating in a game and ruining it for everyone.
Right,
No
Leatherface
way,
is
that
floating and flying
never
around.
happens. I can't believe that they would stoop to that level. That's mind blowing. They were cheating at a game.
I don't see it on Xbox.
Texas Chainsaw.
Unless I spelled. I think I spelled the. Auto did it. There it is.
Well, yeah, if it's
Pinball. That's a movie.
if I can if I can play it on there, then I will. But I don't got Xbox, so
We can do some clip farming.
mm-hmm.
I ain't played the game, Tyler, since me and you played. So like I'm about to be hot ass garbage. They released a new game mode this week too called Rush. Something to do with one of the killers, Johnny. You're in a fraternity trying to kill some college students.
We got new maps.
Yep, new maps, ton of new killers.
I can get behind it. It was fun.
It was fun.
I think the game would be. That's one of those games where I feel like the most fun you could have is if you had. Is there four or five survivors?
Fuck, I think there's 5.
5. So if you had 6 people all in a party together, and you were all playing that game together, like that would be hours of endless fun. But like when you and I get in there and there's 2 of us, and you're just playing with random people, like it was fun, but like it'd be way more fun to have 6 of us in there, knowing one of us is the killer, trying to hunt down the other ones, and yeah, it'd be.
I could probably gather up a few other people to play with. There's certain people I will not play with.
Have you seen that game? I think it's PC only. It's called Lockdown Protocol.
No.
Where it's basically like Among Us, but it's like a first person. It's basically like a first person Among Us type game, to where there's proximity chat, and it's like you can talk to all the other people around you, and there's some of the clips that I've seen from that game are hilarious, and like so you can hear like people echoing from like if they're in a room over from you or something, like you'll hear them, and then like somebody shoots somebody, and then the person comes around the corner, there's just a dead body on the ground. They're like, hey, did you do this? And they're like, no, did you do this? And they're like, I don't know how I got here. And then they're like, hey, look over there. And then the guy turns around and he shoots him in the back, and then the next guy comes around the corner, he's like, hey, what's going on here? And then if it was on PlayStation or Xbox, I would 100% buy it.
I keep seeing a clip where a bunch of people are under like a white sheet, and the guy's got a handgun, and he's trying to figure out which one's the ghost. I wonder if it's that game.
No, Lockdown Protocol. They're all in space, and they all got like it literally looks like Among Us. They're just in colored spacesuits, but I think it's PC only. So,
well, I'm gonna spoil the first movie that I'm gonna pray you guys watch.
Okay, first of all, are these movies that we're going to get to, like that are on something for us to watch, or am I going to have to spend $45 on horror movies throughout October?
I know for sure 2 of them are streaming. Let me double check.
What's that app? They're probably all on there. Screenbox or Shudder or
anybody got AMC Plus?
I got AMC. No, I don't know. I don't know what I have. What's the movie?
Texas Chainsaw 2003. That wasn't originally going to be the first one, but if we're going to be playing some Texas Chainsaw, let's get in the spirit.
I think I actually seen this one.
Texas
one with
Chainsaw.
Jessica Biel.
Which one is it?
I think I've seen parts of it.
It came out in 2003. Texas Chainsaw. If you see Jessica Biel, you're on the right one.
The IMDb. It is on.
That one's on AMC Plus.
AMC Plus or the Amazon Prime.
I'll Apple Pay you guys whatever it costs to rent if I got to.
No.
This is my idea.
I think I got a free rental the other day in my email. I have to go back and look at it. I just don't ever fucking use it, so I didn't bother. But I think I have that.
I forgot I had Paramount Plus until I paid for it again the other day. I was like, what does this charge? Oh shit.
Oh, I told you that I get that for free.
Yeah, I need to cancel.
Yeah, I mean, it's only like what, $6 or
$5.99 or
$7? Yeah, something.
Somehow I signed up through Amazon, one of the Amazon channels.
That is a nightmare because you have to go into your Amazon and you have to go to your subscriptions and cancel that way. That's how I signed up. I did that on HBO Max originally whenever that first got released, and my God, that was a nightmare. I couldn't change my plan, I couldn't change my billing, I couldn't do anything. I literally had to go on and cancel it and re-sign up. Like you're locked in. You can't change it.
It might just be worth giving them $6 and going through that headache.
Yeah, it's just you can't change it to something else. Like you're just locked in. It's just stuck. That's just the way that it is. All right, so is this the task before? Well, no, we got 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah, we got
before we.
I'm also putting together a special presentation, but that's still in the works.
Oh yeah, we have to figure out you might have to host the one when you do
I might
that.
do it on the episode we get BJ on, or I may do
Or
it
you-
the week after.
Or if you send it to me, then I can put it on there. But one of the two. So wrapping things up as always, the what's new on the horizon is hopefully one of the greatest games of the year. Playing this for this weekend. Other than that, I got absolutely nothing. So
I thought about buying that game. I really did. But I'm not going to play it, so I'm not going to waste the money like I did Elden Ring.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
and Funko Fusion. Fuck that god. That was a big waste of money.
You will. I don't think that you would beat this game just because you don't care about playing through it and it would take you too long.
Do I commit to Ghost of Tsushima right now? Do I beat that for the podcast like I did Red Dead? How long did it take you first? Let me backtrack.
It's not that long.
40 hours?
Probably less than that.
Okay. That's doable for me.
There's lots of side stuff you can do probably, but I mean, I ain't doing that.
I ain't been doing nothing video game wise outside of 2, sometimes 3 games on my player a night.
You could always start the task of platinuming Red Dead 2.
No, there ain't no way, dude. If somebody put a gun to my head right now and said, you have a year from today to platinum this game, I'd be like, go ahead and pull the trigger. I don't have time. Just fucking kill me, dude.
It was too tough.
Yeah, I don't.
I
guess you found anything out in the wild, Jake?
I've not. I actually drove past that one guy that keeps saying, I'm going to find it for you eventually. I just haven't made it out to the trailer. And he's like, I'm remembering about you. I'm like, dude, every time I see you, it's just one of those that's just out of luck.
You should just pull up and you should just say, let's take a ride to that trailer. You keep talking about like, it's like
I mean, and it makes it sound like it's in like a Nintendo chest, and those things are worth decent money. So I'm like, if that's inside one of those like Mario, like older chests or whatever, that'd be even better. But he was like, everything's in there. He's like, I know there was like a Nintendo, like one of the like I think it was an SNES, and then there was a GameCube, and I just rolled us with the GameCube, like the games with that, hoping that Luigi's Mansion's in there, because every time I pull it up, I'm like, this is it. I'm gonna finally buy it for like it's $40. It's like, oh, it doesn't have the manual. I'm like, if I'm gonna buy something and spend over $40, I want it to be complete, kind of thing. So I'm like, I don't do it. So eventually,
whenever I buy games, like, I mean, I know it doesn't technically matter, but like, I don't want things that aren't complete. Like, I don't want to have to go search for the manual. And like, if it's greatest hits, like, it sounds stupid to be like, I don't want that one. Like, that one says greatest hits at the top of it, but I'm like, I don't. Like, I want the original one. That's what I want. So I haven't really bought it. I haven't bought anything here recently because I haven't had time to, number one, and I've been doing 1,000 other things. But the PlayStation 2 list will start growing sometime soon. I don't know when that's going to be, but sometime soon it's going to happen. It's not as much fun to emulate the games. They may look a little better, but I mean, my luck, I'd have the whole entire library on a hard drive and then it crash or something, and I'm just like, yeah, well, there goes. Like, you know, everything is gone now. So, all right, so that's all we got until next week. I assume next week will just be 3 of us again, and then in 2 weeks we will have BJ from the Nerdy Reads podcast back on and review Zelda. We'll have.
I'll be a good boy this time.
I guess yes. You will. There will be no adult beverages for you before the episode. So we'll have Zelda review, the first movie by then, and yeah, whatever else we're gonna do. I guess we'll have to bring back the little face-off thing we haven't done in a while, and put some horror icons up there, and
talk to me.
we can debate which one's the best. So
Ooh, I like that one.
all right, so links for everything will be in the description, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye.